It was a summer day in Tampico, Mexico. The sun was directly above and the sky was white hot. I remember walking between my two older brothers, Nacho, who must have been around 9 years old at the time, and Beto, who was around 7. They held hands with me easily, the way that siblings from large extended families do. We were serene and quiet as we made our way along a seemingly endless dirt path that had been worn into the low-lying scrub. I was about 4 years old, and at my young age, I didn't wonder where the path led or even why we were on it. I was in that unfledged season of life before school bells and expectations could impose their order, and my days unfolded as easily as dreams. As far as I was concerned, the rhythmic scraping of our child-sized footsteps on the dry path was as much a part of its unfolding as its presence was in animating our course. It was enough for me to walk hand in hand with my brothers and to take in the day. We'd been walking for a while when we saw a patch of wild sunflowers growing in an unruly cluster a short distance away. Their presence in the dry landscape seemed peculiar. Even from our vantage point, we could tell that they were taller than us by several feet, and their wild coarseness startled me. They were standing next to the path, giving off a weirdly pugnacious energy, almost as if they were a pack. My brothers must have felt the same unease that I did because they began to slow their pace. We would have had to veer off the track and work our way through the scruffy, sticker-covered terrain in order to avoid them, so we inched our way forward haltingly, like restive kittens. When we finally reached the sunflowers, the three of us froze in amazement. One sunflower towered above the rest. I remember her face. Yes, the sunflower's face. Her head, big and heavy as a cast iron pan, sat atop an abrasive gray-green stalk that was as thick as a small tree trunk. Her scraggly, flame-colored petals didn't reflect light so much as claim it. And her face, that amazing, terrible face, it was an otherworldly cluster of dull raised bumps and confusing holes with gnats buzzing and crawling in it, and there were no familiar features for my eyes to land on. It made me dizzy. I never imagined that something so dreadful could share my world. Yet there she was. We could feel the force of her substantial spirit. It's what had stopped us in our tracks. She loomed over us, and the giant sunflower made no effort to soften her countenance on account of our tender age. In her raw determination to prevail over the parched landscape, she had no time for us. All my brothers and I could do was stand there, eyes and mouths wide open, and witness her. Her ferocity hit me like a tempest. It slammed me with a profound sense of awe. The universe seemed to burst open, shattering the cocoon of my childhood, leaving me feeling untethered. And for the first time, I sensed I could be lost. And I understood that my brothers were a miracle, that in the casual gesture of their little hands reaching out to hold mine, there was an act of grace so powerful that it was capable of resisting the pull of the entire voracious universe. A mystery capable of saving me, of grounding us. in love.